This is online journalism. My name is Xavier with an X. Today we're going to talk about general stuff about interviews. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you should know before you get into a real great reporter style interview. This is lesson number 11 of our online course. So let's do it. Action! Interviews. We have been talking the last two lessons about interviews, but I want to say a few more things because I received a letter from you guys, specifically by the lady Pamela Mazzaro, and she asked me to go a little more into the interview. Okay? She also told me that I should give some examples, and I will. So please, if you have any questions, any suggestions, please write it down below the videos, and I'll take a look, because this course is 50 lessons, but it's kind of flexible, so I can just adjust a little bit. So I am really interested in what you guys have to say, what you guys need, okay? So let's go. General things about interviews. Obviously, in any type of interview, you have to be nice, you have to be professional in order to get that interview. Explain to the subject of your interview what is your main idea of the interview. If you're going to talk about his, let's say an artist, his paintings or his records. If you're going to talk about a politician, you can talk about his career as a politician, but you can also have a human interest story about his family and how his family has been coping with the, let's say, the fame of being a very public person. So in that initial contact, you have to say, well, I'm interested in this and this and that. And you have to be true to that, because, I mean, he's willing to open up his office, his house, his family to this, and, well, you have to be truthful in what you ask for, okay? Be nice. I'm talking about professionally decent and nice, you know, because nobody wants to talk to an ugly person. Okay. Now, if you are going to set up, let's say for TV, we talked about the setup, that you needed to kind of look around for the best angles in the house or office. While you are doing this, that it will take at least half an hour, maybe even an hour, depending on the place, you have to tell the subject of your interview to go away. I mean, he should not be there just watching you set up. He'll get, you know, kind of anxious. So you can tell him, do whatever you have to do, and we'll call you when we're ready. So if he's at home, he'll go to another room and do some stuff, or maybe have some interviews by himself, whatever. If he's in the office, maybe he just sticks to the computer, and then when you call him, everything is ready. Okay? So you should have everything ready. When I say everything ready, is that you set up the lights, if you need lights. You test the microphones. Okay. How do you test the microphones? You tell your assistants or even the reporters, sit down, please, in where the subject is going to sit down, and test the microphone. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if the light is okay. Yeah, it's light, maybe. So the idea is not to put the subject of our interview in some unnecessary stress. Okay? So when everything is ready, the set is okay, we call him or her. Obviously, if it's a written interview, like for a newspaper or a web report, you don't have to do all of those things. Okay. When you do a report for a newspaper or a web newspaper, online newspaper, and I would suggest that if you can, maybe you can't, but if you can, that you go around the house or around the facility or around the factory with the subject and ask him to show him things. And in that, let's say, informal atmosphere, you will get better responses, better answers to your questions, and much more living examples of his work. Because he'll go maybe to his studio, and he said, well, I remember here I did such and such painting, or here I composed that famous song, or he goes to the outside of the garden, and I like to relax here, and blah, blah, blah. So it's nice to have, I mean, a person sitting down for 1 hour, that could last an interview or even more, it's better to walk around. He will relax, he will have a more vivid answers to your questions. Obviously, in television, you can't do that, but you could do it. I mean, it depends on the type of interview, and it depends on the cameraman you have, and if you have a wireless microphone, or at least 2 wireless microphones, so you can just go around the property and the cameraman grabbing shots as he can around. But anyway, let's think about a interview where you're sitting down for TV, okay? So you're already set up, and you ask the subject of your interview to come. Sometimes, if they're kind of nervous, as we said before, first easy questions, so they are, like slowly relaxing. So first easy questions. When he's totally relaxed and in control of everything, you can do the tough questions, if there are any tough questions. And afterward, after those tough questions, you can have another relaxing questions, and in a way that you don't end up the interview fighting with this guy. So he will say, well, he asked me some tough questions, but he also asked me some nice questions. So it's kind of balanced. So, and that is a good idea. We were also talking about backgrounds in I think it was lesson number 9. Yeah, and Pamela Massaro said, give me some examples. I'll give you some examples, Pamela. First of all, we talked about the textures in the background of the interview shots or the interview frames. Textures are good, are nice for the camera. No textures like a white wall with nothing on it is not very nice. Textures is okay. What kind of textures? Let's say blinds, horizontal blinds, vertical blinds, color blinds. They're nice because they give a little something. Also plants, they're nice, or part of a plant. Another thing, textures like wood. Wood gives textures and it's nice. Like brick walls. For instance, an old brick wall in the background, it's nice. Careful with the wood. If all the house or all the office is wood, then wood tends to lower light very much. So you could have a low light problem if everything is wood, the ceiling is wood, everything is wood. But wood is nice texture in the background. For instance, bookshelves. They look nice in the background. Curtains, as long as they're not, like really stamped curtains, like nice curtains, like normally curtains are, like relaxed, nice. Another thing, clothes. What kind of shirts, dress, whatever, should your subject wear? Well, mainly not white and not black. No good for television, white or black. Ideally, pastel colors. Did you remember there was a TV show called Miami Vice? and their look was all pastel colors. I mean, the clothes of the guys, even the buildings, everything was pastel colors. That is perfect for television. So no stripes, no heavy stamp things, you know. So pastel colors is really good for television. Stripes and similar, no good. Remember that in television and in general in every recording, also applies to radio, you need an extra level of energy to project your voice better than when you talk in, let's say, normal life. So let's say that in normal life you say, "Hi guys, how are you?" "Fine, fine. Let's go to the restaurant." That would be like my voice in normal life. But if I'm in front of a camera, I have to add a little bit extra energy. And I have to say, "Hello guys, are we going to go to the restaurant? Okay, let's do it. Let's go, let's do it," whatever. So you do need an extra level of energy in front of a microphone, in front of a camera. Otherwise, you sound a little bit like tired, a little bit dull, a little bit, I don't know, like not interesting. So tell the interview subject to talk a little bit more energetic, okay? And also, it won't help if he talks too slowly. I mean, if he talks like this, you are going to get bored, even though he may be the best artist in the world. Okay? So that is true. An extra level of energy. We need an extra level of energy in radio and on TV. Not on written press or online journalism for a newspaper. That doesn't make any difference. Okay. The other thing, you can make recesses. You can make recesses in the middle of a television interview, and or go to the bathroom if you need, or have him a little bit wipe his face from oily nose or oily bald head, and also you can also have what I call mini meditations. And mini meditations is you tell the subject, okay, we're going to do a little mini relaxing session. So close your eyes, breathe deeply 3 times, relax your face, and then you just go on. Because for some people, they need that relaxing, especially if they're not very used to being on TV. And finally, I want to explain in very simple words what is the main goal, what should be the main goal of an interview. The main goal is for you, the reporter, to get inside the brain of the subject of the interview and explore his innermost feelings, to grab his best memories, his best successes, and even failures. And after you just get all that information, you take it out, you organize it well, simple to understand, and you exhibit that on a web page, on a TV screen, on a reporting story, documentary, or whatever. You get the best out of this guy, of this gal, and exhibit to the public his innermost thoughts and feelings in the best possible way. I mean, that is the goal of a good reporter, to get inside the brain. I mean, you've been 1 or 2 days with the subject of your interview, you know him well, so you say, well, I have to get all his vital feelings, vital thoughts, all his work of a lifetime, and in 3 minutes, in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, in 6 or 7 pages, the most, put it in words and images and show what he or she did. And if you do it right, you will be a great reporter. So you have to have tools, you have to have brains, you have to have instinct, and you have to have heart. There's no good reporter without a heart. Okay? So I hope you are able to do it. Thank you.